Alex, Grace, Madison, and Serena of Group 12 nominate The Lemonade Hurricane for the 2019 Geisel Award. This 32-page beginner reader, published in 2015, was written by Licia Morelli and illustrated by Jennifer E. Morris. Morelli's book shows the two siblings' daily struggle understanding each other's personalities. Morelli and Morris sprinkle in tips and tricks throughout the book that illustrate to the reader how to stay calm when they feel out of control. First, we are introduced to the older sister Emma in a calm environment which she is fully aware allows her to have an important time of rest. Immediately after, we see Henry making a mess, cat-in-the-hat style, in the house. Note the concerned kitty, toppled lamp, and spilled lemonade. We then learn that when Henry's days are busy and full, as pictured on the left, he does not have a peaceful outlet like his sister, but instead, Henry gets wild. For example, when he whacks his sister with a pillow and then knocks over her castle, this is interfering with her happiness. She is saddened as she can't seem to stay out of his way as much as she tries to. Even the cat is concerned with his behavior. A low point for Emma is her finally deciding he is just an unstoppable hurricane in her life. This illustration is a great representation for a child to understand the realities of a literal hurricane, something dark and rainy, but also illustrates the sadness and defeat Emma feels in dealing with her rambunctious brother. These literal and symbolic meanings are wrapped up nicely by the text. I really don't like hurricanes, as it is implied that the real hurricane she is experiencing in life is her brother. Instead of giving up, Emma decides she might be able to share her peace with her brother, who is shown exhausted in a pile of his own destruction. She is then patient with Henry, who is pictured once again whirling around like a monkey on a tree, but this time she is prepared for his hurricane with an umbrella. The movement in this illustration is visually exciting for a child, as there are about a dozen different activities Henry is doing, with Emma just watching it all and taking it in. Then she carries out her plan, not by shaming him for his personality, but by showing him her peace. The short text and small groups of pictures, usually reserved for Henry's wild behaviors, transform into the solution for Henry's wild self-exhaustion. Sit, bow, breathe. Breathe is written again, spaced out and flowing like the wind, not of a hurricane, but a gentle breeze. At first, Henry is illustrated not being such a fan of her method by continuing to run around, but Emma creates an imaginary world, and this world is appealing to Henry. Henry is then illustrated creating his own world, which just so happens to be his happy place on an elephant. They are pictured talking about this new world that he has created, and he slowly begins to understand that it can be a fun place for him to unwind instead of all the other activities which have been winding him up constantly throughout the day, leaving him exhausted at the end of the day. They are pictured together in their peaceful place, illustrating that this idea of sit, bow, breathe has been helpful for Henry. He is no longer a lemonade hurricane, but he is still 100% Henry. The final pages of this book allow for a higher level reading description of how to meditate to find peace like Emma and Henry. These instructions are relatable and useful. They are introduced nicely by this book in a way that really drives home the fact that changing your personality is not necessary. If you have a lot of energy, practicing mindfulness and meditation, including steps on how to do so, instead of being embarrassed for being yourself, is a helpful, healthy way to de-stress and learn to enjoy life. The Lemonade Hurricane by Licia Morelli.